We are live on the Metal Voice.
Ha ha!
He's back. He's back.
He's back in one piece. Blaze Bayley, the man who would not die.
Oh,
just like that album cover, you're on a stretcher, right? And all the doctors are kind of putting you back together again. You're a cyborg. You're back.
I don't know. It's just an amazing thing that, there's so many lucky things about a terrible incident in my life. I'm at home on Saturday. On the Friday, I've just signed off on what I think is probably the final mastered mix of a new album. That's on the Friday. Here I am on the Saturday. On the Monday, I'm scheduled to go on tour in Europe to continue with the Man Who Would Not Die tour. And there I am, and I've got chest pains, and I think, is this indigestion? I'm having a heart attack. I live 2 minutes from the ambulance station. I'm on the phone, and apparently the paramedics, they were going on their break towards the ambulance station, and they said, we heard that call. It's on our way. We'll take that call. 2 minutes, they're in my house. I got wires on my chest. You're having a heart attack. I live in the city, but I'm between 4 hospitals. In 15 minutes, I'm having treatment, and they're injecting me with dye to see what the problems are and everything. So that's it. I'm safe. I'm in hospital 15 minutes later. So they said, the paramedics, if that had been 10 minutes, there's no way you'd make it.
Incredible.
So 10 minutes from death, I had a heart attack, not heart failure. They got to me in time. But if I'd have been somewhere else, if I'd have been in Eurotunnel, if I'd have been in a hotel room alone, or on the Autobahn in Germany, anywhere, man, it's just terrifying, really, to think about where I could be. And when they said, you should be able to make it back, I said, I've got to get back to work. I can't leave it like this. I've done an album called War Within Me, and I haven't toured the whole thing. I'm thinking of my fans and everything. I thought, I can't leave it like this. I've still got more music to make. I've got things to say, and I don't want to feel like I'm letting my fans down either. So I was so focused, and it took a while before, like a few weeks before they could put me in for the surgery. It's a quadruple bypass.
Jeez.
Quadruple, man. Basically, they cut you in half.
Oh.
They cut me in half. They do a load of plumbing, and then they put you back together. And the guy said, we wire you back together with surgical steel wire. He said, we've double wired you. I said, so even more metal? Yeah, even more metal. Because
this was you on the operating table. This was you. Well, not on the brain, but the body.
Basically, yeah. So I've got more metal in me than a normal heart patient is there. So, yeah.
Blaze, what advice can you give to guys like me and Alan's age group when, you sense, what is a heart attack? Like, I mean, describe it. I mean, so we can...
It's different, Jimmy. It's different for everyone. And this is why it's so confusing. That's why I didn't know I was having a heart attack. My heart attack was a pain that starts, it's like someone sitting on your chest or being kicked by a horse in your chest in slow motion. And it goes from the front to the back, and you're sweating and all of this. That's how it happened for me. That's common. The other thing that happens is, for some people, and I didn't have any of this, you start going numb. You start going tingly down your left arm, and it spreads across you. That's another thing. And for other people, there are other symptoms. So you just don't know. You've got to try and head it off early by getting tested for your cholesterol, your triglycerides, and all of this. And just exercise is vital, and we just don't realize that. It's vital. But I think chronic laziness is one of the things. You get out the van, you get on the stage. I'm active for a couple of hours, breathing, all of that. Hadn't been away for a while, hadn't done anything for a while. COVID, 2 years of not going out there, all the time. And I think that a big combination of things and some bad habits that led up to something that is almost fatal, really.
And every time we've had you on, we've joked that you're the hardest working man in metal. Did that have anything to do with the heart attack? Like the stress of you being a one-man show?
But in the opposite way, that I wasn't out there working, breathing, singing every night, being active every day. I wasn't out there. I was stuck at home trying to make the best of it, just like everybody else. And then my bad habits getting the best of me and everything. So I think that was what it was. I wasn't away. I wasn't focused on staying ready. And I think here in the UK, we had that second lockdown. And that's when, for a lot of entertainers, we thought, well, is that our job gone now? Will the theatres, when Andrew Lloyd Webber, the top one in the musical theatre, says there's a danger theatres will never open again, well, are there going to be any live concerts ever again? Except in a field, standing 100 metres apart. So, man, that was a scary, scary time. And I think it affected a lot of us.
You know what's amazing, Blaze? Like, we stayed home to protect ourselves from the virus originally, right? But in this way, our inactivities and our bad habits caused secondary, or let's say indirect problems, right?
Yeah, it's a killer.
So, you're doomed either way, right? Either you lock down and you get sick other ways, mentally or physically, or get heart attacks from sitting around. I think at the end of the day, I've learned that you need to be active. You need to go to the gym, regardless of COVID or not, because the healthier you are, eating wise and physical wise, the more you can fight off, these viruses.
It's right.
Yeah.
It's right. You've got to be as active as you can be, and that's your immunity.
Yeah.
That's it. Fit. If you think of yourself as fit to get away from, our ancestors would have got away from predatory creatures or other tribes who were out to steal their stuff or whatever. If you're fit enough to stand on your feet and get away from things, you're also fit enough physically to fight tiny little bacteria and disease, those other things. So it goes hand in hand. But I'm a doctor, but I'm a doctor of heavy metal, not health. That's where it went wrong.
Did you think you were going to die at one point? Like, you're lying on the stretcher,
No, I was very lucky. I never thought I was going to die. I just felt so disappointed that I hadn't kept an eye on anything like that. I never expected it. I didn't know I had diabetes. I didn't know I had heart disease. I just put it down to indigestion or being out of shape, or I didn't know that. I never felt, I was lucky, I never felt I was going to die. I just felt I would die of embarrassment because I'd let this happen to myself. It's not all my fault. I didn't know.
No, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Absolutely
that happened, but I didn't want to let my fans down or my family down. And I thought, you know what, if you get through this and you come out the other side the way I'm coming out the other side, you can go, all right, am I going to make the changes that are necessary to keep me out of hospital and away from this? And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I was very lucky. I never thought I was going to die. I just thought this could have been avoided if only I'd known.
Just you talking about it, my chest hurts.
Yeah, I'm
telling you. It's just you talking about it. I'm like panicking. I just want to make a doctor's appointment after the show. It's just, And you know what? It's important. It's important to watch your cholesterol. And then you're diabetic too, right? You told me you're diabetic.
Yeah, I didn't know I was diabetic. But the thing is, Jimmy, I say to my fans at every show, I say, look after yourself. I need you. Because for me, I'm a very small artist, independent. Every fan is important to me. And the support they give me allows me to live my dream. At the end of every concert, look after yourself. You're important. I need you. And there's me. I didn't look after myself, and I nearly let everybody down. So it's a wake up. It's a second chance. It's something to go. I've got so much music in me, so many ideas of things to do. And I think, man, I don't want to end the story there. It's like halfway through my musical journey of things I want to say and the ideas that I want to do and things that I want to try with music, the journey that I want to go on musically, then it would just be, well, it was almost tragic.
Is there an urgency now to get all this music out, or you say, I'll just do it in my time? Do you feel like there's more of an urgency now?
No, what I feel is I've got to do it. I don't feel I can rush anything because things get spoiled when you rush them. But now I feel like, you know what? It's a lot more serious now than it was. It's a lot more serious to get things done. And it's a lot more serious to keep those notes. I've always thought it's important when I have a melody. I've always tried to catch it on my dictaphone or my phone and think, or an idea for a lyric or something that may be a lyric. Keep that. That's even more important now. It's kind of, I'll keep that in my head until I get home. And no, it's like, right, where can I pull over the car now? Okay, right. Oh, great. I'm saying to my fiance, Kate, I'm going, write this down now. Where? Anywhere, just write this down. So it's like, quick, turn your phone on, record me doing this. So it's more, things are more important now. And then I'll get those bits. And when we start writing our next project and our next things, I'll be going, right, what have we got? And I should have plenty that I haven't let just get away. Because it doesn't come when you want it. It comes when it wants to come. That's inspiration. It's like a butterfly on a summer's day. You won't see it until you're looking the other way and go, oh, look at the beautiful butterflies. But you go looking for butterflies, you go, where's all the butterflies I was looking for? And that's exactly inspiration, lyrics, bits of music, melody. It's the same, I think, for a lot of people. And I wrote a song about this. It's called The End of the Day. I think it's on Man Who Would Not Die album. And it's about that kind of thing, betraying, romantically speaking, your muse and not being deferential and going, okay, the muse is there, giving me these things, better use them. And go, I'll have another idea later. Well, you won't. And you won't have that quality. So what you're missing, you'll never get back. And that's the lesson that I've learned. And it's a harsh lesson. And I think it's the same lesson that every writer, every songwriter, creative writer will do. Some people use a different thing. I know Steven not Spielberg.
Steve Harris?
No, his name will come to me in a bit. The one that does the horror, Stephen King.
Stephen King, yeah.
He uses a different way. He goes, you know what? If I don't remember it, maybe it wasn't that important or that good. So he only uses as basis for his stories, his novels, ideas that keep coming back to him and return to him. He doesn't use that thing of notes and different thing that other people like me use.
Everybody has their own way, right? Everyone.
Everyone has their own way.
What about new album?
Okay, I can't get this. Hold on, I just can't get this image out of the neighbors, Blaze's neighbors in the town that he lives. The car pulling off, getting back on the road, pulling off. What the hell is this maniac doing? Oh, that's just Blaze. He's writing a song. Not a song idea.
Rolls of toilet paper with scribbles.
Yeah. Well, I used to years ago, before we had smartphones. Then you put, you've got a beer mat or a napkin, or I always used to carry a little notepad and things. And then it comes time to get together to start the album writing. You've got a box of bits of paper, tip it out. It's all over the floor. And you go, oh, does this bit fit with this? And making notes. And I've used that, cross that out, throw it away, and something else. And just absolutely mad. And now you go in, you can look, this bit and this line and stuff like that. But it's changed. But I find, for me, it's essentially the same. You're getting together. For me, I like to collaborate. So I'm getting together with Chris Appleton or Luke Appleton or the guys from Wolfsbane or other colleagues that I sometimes write with. And it's, all right, what have you got? Oh, change that chord slightly. Oh, this might go with that. Oh, this lyric, I've got this. Oh, that produces its own rhythm when you sing it with that chord. So we could get the drums to do this. So then we would go there. Wow. Well, the instrumental then would do this. And we'd get back to do this. Yeah. And then we'd have this finish. Yeah. So that's essentially it. And that can just be with the acoustic guitar or, playing the electric very low and things like this. But that's essentially the same that I've been doing, whether you've got a computer in there and you're recording bits and pieces or not. Essentially, it's the same. How does it sound? How does it feel? What is the journey that we're on? And in the end, what is the feeling that we want to leave with our listener at the end of the song and at the end of the album? How are you going to feel? So War Within Me, we wanted to leave you feeling positive, empowered, enabled, able to fight back and take on the world.
You know what? I agree with you. I agree with you right here.
If we did our job, then you feel like that. And if we didn't, please don't tell anybody about it.
Blaze, okay, before we talk about the live album, tell us about the status of a new album, because now it's been some time, right? And I'm sure during COVID and these inspirations of having a heart attack.
Together. We are getting things together. You can expect a new studio album next year.
Okay.
So expect that, and hopefully people will enjoy it. But yeah, so
let me ask you this: Are you going down the concept album road, like you did the 3 albums of a concept, or are you just going to stick to just songs? Like
I think that's another interview, Jimmy. Get me back.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Get me back for that. Get me back. There's a whole other interview.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's a 7-album concept story. I don't know. I don't know.
3, man. That was tough. That was tough. Well, I said to it's crazy, it's stupid, it's impossible, but we did it anyway. I said when I realized. We had 16 songs at the beginning, and I realized, hang on, this actually is part 3 of a story. Part 1 is this man going into space, the story of this man. Part 2 is his journey, and part 3 is his arrival at his destination and his survival. So and I said to my manager, it's 3 albums. I want to do it in 3 years with 3 tours. And he said, that's a lot of work. Yeah. He never said no. He just said, and you know what? The guys that I work with the band and everything, it's incredible what we all did. We did not want to leave it hanging. If you go, you know what? It's finished when it's finished. That's not for me. It's finished on this date, and then on that date we start the tour. That's it, and that's how we did it. And I think it turned out really well. I'm really proud of the Infinite Entanglement trilogy. But at the end of it, when we finished that third album, we were looking at each other going, it's enough for concept albums. I don't think we'll be
been there, done that. Got the t-shirt.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
So, and then we've got War Within Me, which loosely the concept is use your own words to describe yourself. Don't let anybody tell you you're less than wonderful.
Yeah. All right. That's a great segue into the live album, because that's where we're at.
Maybe the album should have been retitled "Damaged, Strange, Different, and Alive" instead of just.
Well, yeah, you could if it had come out a bit later, it would have been that probably.
Yeah,
but that's the title comes from the song "Warrior," and we are damaged, strange, and different. We are victims of this place. So it's to be inclusive in the metal family. We don't really care too much about what people look like and everything. The most important thing is that we tell the truth and we love metal music. We have those values, I think. And so I wanted to do something where we brought that together. I am a nerdy geek, and I admit that, and I don't shy away. I never said I wasn't a nerdy, heavy metal, cheesy geek. I never said I was anything else. So I think for all of us that feel a bit isolated, a bit odd, that we feel that, well, we're not a part of this mainstream, trendy, whatever is, going on TikTok at the moment, then we all belong in this same place where, you know what, more than the way we look, the music that we love is the most important thing. So I wanted it to be an inclusive thing that even if you feel damaged, strange, broken, that you still can be part of something. And the internal dialogue that you use about yourself, you can choose. So if they're telling you that you are a fool, if they're telling you that you are worthless, that you are useless, that you are not worthy, that's their words, and that's external. And don't let that in here and in here. Don't let their words be the words that describe you. Let me describe you. You are a warrior because you love metal and you listen to Bayley. That's it. Forget what they say. It's about what I say. That's what's important.
Listen to
Use
Blaze.
my words for your internal dialogue and say, I am a warrior. I am a warrior. I will cope. I'll fight back. I'll get back up. I'll get back up and I'll fight back and I'll sing these words. And that's empowering and important. Use your own words to describe yourself in your own mind and with your own heart. Don't let somebody else's words be the description and the definition of you. Define yourself. Better still, let me define you as a warrior.
Hallelujah. That's my favorite track off the live album. It's a great performance of that track on the album.
Great. It's a magical thing, and we had a bit more time with that to live with the songs, and I think that's one of the reasons that we decided, you know what, we've lived with these songs, they've come out so well, but also when you take things to the stage, when you put things in the venue, you put things in front of the fans, and fans are my blood. They're what bring these things to life. I live my dream because I have this incredible support from my fans, but the songs change just a little bit. They have their own flow. A couple of the rough edges get knocked off, and your phrasing is slightly different, and it starts to become almost spiritual in a way the soul of the song seems to become more solidified. And so that's what we wanted to do. And we thought, you know what, we've made live albums before, but there's an opportunity here where enough venues have multi-track recording that they just plug in.
Oh,
yeah. That you think, well, we may as well record it. If it's any good, great. If it's not, we've lost nothing. It costs nothing. And that's what we did. And we just had great results. It worked really well. And we thought, this is it. So Damaged Strange, Different and Live is one side. It's those songs from the studio album War Within Me. And the other side are those Maiden songs that I like to do, that I've changed the arrangement slightly, subtle differences. It's the Bayley version of those old songs, because they are old. They're 25 years old, some of those songs. Yeah. So it's that version. It's meeting an old friend and going, you know what? Here's a fresh suit of clothes. Now you look the part. So it's that way that we wanted to do it. So you've got this vibe and energy on Damaged, Strange, Different and Live that just comes from being with, not necessarily in front of, but being with the fans that this music is for.
You know what I love? You know what I love about, first of all, I love this album. It's a great live album. It's a great representation of the War Within Me, right? And second of all, I actually prefer you doing the Maiden songs versus when you actually did them in the studio, because they're tailored. All music's got to be tailored to a voice, right? And I found that when you do them, you tailor it to your voice and your strengths. In the Maiden, it was sort of like, it's great, but I think it's more suitable when you do it and you lead the charge with your voice. Maybe there is just too much, we got to stick to the Maiden sort of pattern versus we got to follow Blaze's voice. What do you feel about the Maiden songs versus the studio albums versus the way you perform them live? Well, I think you kind of alluded to that just now.
There are a lot of changes. At the time, I think, I auditioned for Iron Maiden like a lot of other people, and I never thought I would get it because my voice was so different to Bruce Dickinson, who is one of the greatest singers in music, not just heavy metal, but in music. Bruce Dickinson is something and someone that is very special. And what happened was Maiden were going into a progressive era, and they were changing as much as I think Bruce was changing. I want to go and do something else. Then Maiden were going, you know what? I want to move we want to look at a different direction. Maiden were going in a progressive direction, and my voice was part of that change. So it's not just the fact they had a new voice, it's they had a new direction, albeit subtle difference. And I think that's a part of what makes X Factor such an interesting album. There's so much great music on that album, but a lot of the lyric is personal and it says a lot. So when I joined the band, Steve Harris said to me, there is no music written for this album. Whatever we come up with, that's it. I don't care who comes up with the music. If it's great music, then we're going to use it on the album. So that was it. So I had about 6 songs that, made it. So I think in that way, it was really a different thing. But also, there's another part of this is my voice was like this big. And then Steve Harris said, no, try this. So I found during that experience another third of my voice. Now, that's over the 2 albums and 2 big tours. Now, take that on with the years of experience and strengthening this new part of my voice. I have a degree of control and a range that I just didn't have in the studio when we were recording those things, because it was such a new thing for me. So I think that's why I enjoy so much revisiting those old songs every so often and go, with the voice I have now, with this man's voice, then let me go and sing these songs with this voice, with this control, with this power, with this passion that I have now. And they just come to life, for me in a way that I enjoyed them before, but now I don't feel like I'm just enjoying them. I feel like I'm bringing them to life, these old songs, over 20 years old, bringing them to life in a new way, in a different way. And so far, all the fans that have seen me do these old songs live, they've loved it. So it just follows that we want to get that on a record. And we had them in the set, so we managed to record them and make them a part of this album.
It's funny because I remember reading an Elton John interview where he says, I'd like to go back and re-record that. I can sing them so much better at my age now than when they were, and he's talking some classics from the early 70s. So very similar to what you just explained.
I think it's normal with singers. You have a strength in your voice and a tone that you don't have when you're younger. A lot of the times when I was younger, it was about the scream I could get and controlling the scream and high registers and things like this. Whereas I've matured and I write in a different way, then I think, I want to put this lyric and this word in this part of my voice.
Yeah.
So it's coming from here and I'm reaching down. So when I'm in your head, if you got the headphones on, when I'm there, or if you're listening on your hi-fi, I'm hanging in front of you on your hi-fi, you're hearing this. And I think it's not going to last forever. So I think that's another thing of, while I have my voice in this shape, I really want to record songs that I feel have a degree of honesty and truth.
Yeah, I agree, Blaze. Whenever I've seen you live and seen you many times, I just, every time you do your solo stuff, they're fantastic. And you do the Maiden stuff, they're like reinvigorated. The songs just have this certain punch that they didn't have when you first recorded them. That's my perspective. Right? I just dig them. I dig them. Have there been any songs that you haven't recorded? I was looking at all the Maiden songs that you did. I think you've pretty much played almost every one of them, right? From the two studio albums that you did.
Yeah, there's something that just at the back of my mind. There's a couple of B-sides from the X Factor album, and just thinking, at some point in the future, I might like to go back and have a look at a couple of the songs that I wrote that didn't make it onto the album, and just have another go at them. But there's no decisions on that. It's just a vague idea that I'm telling you two in confidence.
Yeah, that's right. In confidence.
Don't say between the three of us.
Yeah, just between us three, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Recently, it came to light that Nico also had some heart problems. Was there any communication to reach out to you to compare notes?
I went to see. I couldn't say anything to anybody at the time, but I went to see the guys in Manchester, and Nico and I had quite a chat, and he was telling me about his scare and everything, and what he went through. And it's just a shock when you have these big life things, and of course, people who are your age and other people, you say, oh, that's a terrible thing to happen. And then it's happening to you. Then, yeah, we had quite a chat about it there. And just great to see him actually working and doing his thing and sounding great, and solid. His time in the field that he has, bringing those songs to life and giving them that energy. You wouldn't think that anything had happened to him. So, yeah, we did talk about it. So it was, he said, hold on. And Steve Harris is we've been friends for a long time now. He's a health nut. I don't think he will mind me saying that, but he's a health nut about keeping himself in shape and keeping his health. And we were talking about, diet and things like this, and saying all different things about that. So it's nice in that way that still friends with the guys. Had a good chat with Bruce as well. And, look, I'm saying, what are you having for dinner? And he was telling me, he's a total health, man. You've got to be. Like, you're at a level where you're ordering your dinner, and what you order is what you get, and it's something healthy and good. So, I think people we take things for granted, and we have a kick or a knock or we're on the floor. And if we're lucky, we have the opportunity to get up and try again. And some people, they're just not lucky and they don't get that chance.
Yeah, well said. Well said. You went to see Maiden in the UK, right? I'm not sure if it was Birmingham or Manchester, but what was that experience like? I was reading in Blabbermouth, your interview. I found it pretty cool where you said people were coming all taking pictures and selfies with me, and I should do this more often.
It was difficult to get out of the toilet. I'm trying to wash my hands, and then, can we take a picture? We're like, yeah, okay. And I'm in the toilet. I'm in the bathroom. In the bathroom. A quick selfie. Yeah. I'm trying. They're going to be on soon. I missed the whole support band. They're going to be on soon. I'm like, yeah, okay, okay. So it was crazy. It was after the split. Then it was quite challenging sometimes, but I think even though there are a certain amount of people that still hate me for being in Iron Maiden, then there's far less of those people, and they're not bold enough to come and say, I hated you in Iron Maiden. Most people say, oh, I loved you in Iron Maiden, or, oh, can I just have a selfie or something like, or I'm seeing you on your own tour. I've got a ticket for the Wolfsbane show or something like this. But the weirdest thing, I don't mind having a selfie, and people ask, and they're very kind, very polite. And people were saying, oh, it's great to see you back on your feet and doing well, and after my heart attack and everything. And then some guy takes a picture of the back of my head like this, right? And that picture had more likes and more things on it than any other picture I've ever had, right? I go, why did I bother shaving all these, trying to look, reasonable?
Show the back of your head.
Oh, yeah, it's gone viral. The back of my head is viral now. Yeah, it's in all the magazines. Blaze Bayley, Iron Maiden. It's just not this.
Back of his head.
Yeah, it's not this. It's this.
Yeah.
It's the back of my head. Right. I'm like, what? I'm saying, and my manager's going, I think we need more headshots from the back, please.
Yeah, the back, yeah.
Put the new album cover right there.
But that's the joy of the band like Iron Maiden with its longevity. Yes, Jimmy and I got involved in the Killers and Number of the Beast, probably like yourself around that time. But for my daughter, I mean, she still remembers having supper with you. That was a highlight of her life. But for her, Iron Maiden started the Blaze Bayley era.
Yeah.
So when you got a band with that type of longevity, you pick up fans all along the way.
It is, it's something which I try not to be have any hubris with this, but it is a really great feeling when people say, you're my Iron Maiden singer. I saw Maiden first time with you. And that's a really nice feeling. And that people hold you with such fondness in their heart. Yeah. It's a really, really nice feeling. It's not too many people, but it's in every so often someone go, you're my Iron Maiden singer. Just like for some people, I remember one gig when I think in Italy on X Factor tour, when some fans were chanting horrible things, they go, bring back Bruce. And Steve Harris just turned to me on stage and goes, "Don't take any notice. They said that about Paul when Bruce was in the band."
That's right.
That's right.
Like, oh, okay.
Well, on the Number of the Beast tour, I remember a few signs, Paul Di'Anno, when I saw that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I was pretty pissed off when Bruce joined the band, actually. And, after Killers, I mean, it's like, how can you go to Bruce? But, of course, I love all the Iron Maiden singers today. Is there anything else you want to tell us, Blaze? How about, are you planning any tours with Di'Anno that you had?
No, but, I've worked with Paul in the past and we've done a few things together. There's nothing planned. I wouldn't rule it out at all because we get on great. He's such a funny guy. And I went to see him. It was with KK's Priest at KK Steel Mill in Wolverhampton. And Paul was doing the support with that. I did a great job and went to say hello. And he said he should be out of the chair and, on his feet again by Christmas this year, if everything goes well. So I wouldn't rule out doing anything in the future. We had a lot of fun when we toured together. We did some crazy things. And I think that'll be good. We've got a Wolfsbane tour coming up. It's only in the UK, but that's November, December this year. I don't know if you guys know about the Genius album, the new Wolfsbane album. It's called Genius. That's coming on vinyl in November. The vinyl version of that looks absolutely fantastic. And then hoping to be out next year with a new studio album from Bayley and on tour around Europe. And who knows if we can get through the rest of the world as well. I would love to do that, man. There's a lot of places I want to go back to now. And
no talks of Canada? Did you talk to Alex?
I'd love to come back. It's just, man, I'd love to come back. I love it there. I absolutely love it. So just book me, okay? That's all about. Just book me and I'll come.
We'll start working on it.
Yeah.
Call up Alex. Call up Alex. That's it. That's what we got to do.
Piranha Bar still going?
Yes, it is. Actually, they renovated it. They renovated it probably a third time. This is the third time since you've come. Yeah. Now it's in the basement where that restaurant was. Now it's bigger, it's nicer, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Wow, get me back. Get me back. I'd love to come back. Absolutely.
So
I love it there. I love coming to I just love it there, man. I love it.
You've got the green light. There's nothing holding you back health-wise. You can move forward and resume your
all
career.
I said is I've got to stay active. And obviously I've got to, I'm making a lifestyle change. I'm trying to change what I eat and do my exercises regular and focus. Right, okay, everything has got to come from a health point of view. Change the rider. As silly as it sounds, I'll make sure that half the crap, which I didn't know was crap, is off. And then I've got some good stuff on the rider each time. So, no, there's nothing going to stop me. I'm building my strength up. I'm not ready yet for a big tour, but I'm building my strength up. We're going to start in October with a few shows and get my voice back. And then that's it. Then by the end of December, we'll be in good shape. And that should be me then rocking.
Fantastic.
The thing is, you have major heart surgery and you have a bypass. It's a big thing. I didn't realize that. It's a really, really big thing. And it takes a long time because they're cutting you in half.
Oh, yeah.
And separating you out.
Oh.
And you know what must have been so difficult for them? When they looked inside, they must have said, we need different tools because this heart is metal.
It's a metal heart.
It's not the normal muscle. It's metal. Bring me the screwdrivers. And the chalk plates, metal heart this one's got.
We need a hammer.
That must have been so difficult for those guys, but they did it. They did it.
What was the name of the hospital?
It was New Cross Hospital, Wolverhampton.
All right, let's see. A shout out.
Team they have there, always on my guest list, and the main surgeon, Dr. Aziz. I wasn't trying to be big about this, but I'm very proud that I'm a full-time, independent heavy metal singer. It's been my dream, since the 80s. And I'm living my dream, as small as it is. And I said, he said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a singer. What kind of music? I said, heavy metal. He goes, oh, that's it. And I said,
that's what I usually get.
I said, you probably won't have heard of me. I said, that my professional name is Bayley. He goes, no. But the chap with him, his assistant, goes, what? And I said, yeah, Iron Maiden, you may have heard Wolfsbane. He goes, Iron Maiden? That was the band of my youth. And he goes to the other doctor, the main surgeon, and he goes, you don't know Iron Maiden? Like this. And then he comes back in the next day, and he goes, my wife knows you. She wants signed CDs.
What you had to do, Blaze, you had to turn your head around so he sees the back of your head.
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Oh, that's Blaze.
Yeah, now they recognise me. Yeah, now you see me.
Oh, what?
Of course you do. Yeah, so that was fun. And you know what? When I was a young man, and what do you do? I'm a singer. Yeah, sure you are. And I'm an old man now. I recognise that. I'm an old man, but I refuse to give up. I refuse to stop, and I refuse to feel embarrassed about what I do. And they said, what's your occupation? And with immense pride, I say, I'm a singer. And I suppose something about the way I look, they're probably going, this guy's a total fruitcake. Just agree with him. Just agree with him. He's obviously a nutcase. Just agree with him. And nobody said to me at all, but I said, I'm a singer. They just said, okay, singer.
Let's get her back to the institute.
And then when you throw in heavy metal, like,
yeah, heavy metal singer. Not like, oh, you can't be serious. I'm like, they didn't say no. Okay, heavy metal singer.
It's like saying you're an astronaut.
So, there was a rumor about a book with that trilogy concept album.
Yeah.
I remember you talking about.
I'm writing a book. All right, I'm writing it. And one sentence a year. Feels like I
That's
read
tough.
a big bit of it, but I had a lot of advice about writing a book. But the best thing is, now I realise just keep writing and writing and writing, and it's very much like a song, except you don't know where the ending is. You only know where you're going, and it will take me. My imagination is vast. And it will take me everywhere. All of the details, the little things where the characters have to go, they're on the trilogy. They're on the album. They're touched on in the songs. But how they get to those places, to get to those songs, that's not on there. And that's what the book is. It's all of the backstory of all of the characters and the things that you don't know that happen in between the songs. Yeah. So that's what I'm writing. It's difficult to get into the routine of writing, but that's my problem. I am working on it, and you're right. Nag me about it next interview and see how far I've got.
This will be your Game of Thrones, right? We're all waiting.
Yeah, that's the scale of it. Really, is William Black. This character comes from this place when he's an outsider, and he joins the British Army. He's a Canadian, actually, who joins the British Army, and he's a failure. He's a bit of a washout, but the sergeant that is training him manages to turn him into a fantastic soldier, and that's the beginning of his journey. And his life takes all kinds of twists and turns, and the tragedies that happen to him that turn him into a ruthless, psychopathic killer. Those tragedies and that journey, and how that part of his personality is then hacked into and used, and then how he searches for redemption and how he finds that redemption. all of those bits and pieces, that's what the story is. That's what the book is. And when I start writing, then I'm like, oh yeah, and he goes here, oh yeah, and he does that, oh, and he does this, oh, and he chops this person's head off. I don't know, things like this. So it's a lot. Once you're in
it's
it,
a lot.
wow,
It's a
you're in
lot.
it.
Yeah,
So it's big.
Yeah.
I just got to get myself working on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, talk me about it. Next interview. Yeah,
we got next interview about the concept album, then the book.
With the book.
All right. In the last few minutes that we have, if anybody wants to say hi, look, people have been texting throughout this whole interview. There's just so much to talk about. There's so much to hear about. If anybody wants to say hi to Blaze, feel free to say something to Blaze. Maybe you want to say a statement. Maybe you want to ask him a very quick question because we got like just 2 minutes left.
Here's one. Is Blaze going to be at Dora's 40th anniversary show in Dusseldorf? From Dean Smith.
So far, no, because I got my own shows to do. If I can get there, I'd love to go, but so far, no. I'm not confirmed to go there at this point.
She is an absolute pleasure. We've had her on the show a couple of times.
What a
her
wonderful
energy
person.
is off the charts, almost as strong as yours.
Yeah, she's helped me so much over the years. In some dark times, she's, I've supported Doro. I'm on the Classic Diamonds record. I was on a tour with her. She's helped me so much, man. What a wonderful, wonderful person.
Jim Harrison, so glad Blaze is on the road to better health. Tom, we're so glad you're here with us. I know you had bad things happen to you so many times, right? And you know what, Blaze, just a book alone on the challenges and the obstacles you faced throughout your whole life. I mean, we've gone into depth many, many times about that, but geez, it just, to me, you are the man that would not die, basically.
Thanks, man.
That's what it comes down to. Blaze, Buyaku's all the way from Hawaii saying aloha. So there you go.
Aloha. Good luck with your weather problems over there.
Yeah.
Blaze, have you a set date for your wedding?
Well, my wonderful fiance, Kate, I'm so lucky. She looked after me out of hospital, made all my meals, everything. I couldn't use my arms. I couldn't use my shoulders. She had to do everything for me. I wasn't allowed to lift a single thing. And thanks, Kate, for that. So, yeah, we haven't got an absolutely fixed date yet, but we want it to be this year, either in October or December.
All right.
That's what we want.
That was from Dale. And Effin saying, you are one of the most amazing human beings that I know. Tim saying, come back to USA too. Smios is saying, join late the party. Blaze, all my love from Greece. Greek people love you. Klaus is saying, love you, Blaze. Mellow greetings from Sweden. Seagull is saying, live fast, die young. Well, in this case, live slow, die old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eat more greens.
Yeah.
Kim, love you, babe. I'm assuming that might actually be Kate who just wrote a text.
Might be. I'm in trouble if it's not.
Yeah. It might
Just
be.
saying.
And on that note, Blaze, always a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you in Canada. Thank you so much once again.
A true metal man now.
Yes.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks. Absolute pleasure to be here. A big thank you to all of my fans that have supported me in my dream and also through my health problems, and everybody that bought the T-shirt for the tour that couldn't happen because I was actually in hospital, but they bought the T-shirt anyway and the album. So thank you, everybody, for supporting me. Thanks for hundreds of cards and letters that I've had telling me to keep going and all the wonderful things people have said. So thank you all so much. Can't wait to get back to Canada. Can't wait to get back on tour in October. Can't wait to get back on the stage. Very, very excited. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support. I hope you enjoy the live album.
And it was Kate. It was Kate, by the way. So you're in the clear. You're in the clear.
Thanks for the inspiration, and so glad we're able to talk to you today.
All right,
thanks, man. Thanks, Alan.